What is up, guys? This is a little bit of a different video that you're probably used for me because this is my, well, not really first YouTube video, but it's a little bit of a longer one, so hopefully you can, sit through. I'm gonna talk about my post-show recap real quick. Not just post-show, but also a little bit of pre-prep. Talk about a couple of things. Talk about prep first, post-show, mental health, and obviously what is going to be coming up next. So my prep was actually 20 weeks long, 4 weeks of pre-prep, 16 weeks on cycle prep, which means that we've deployed a PED stack from 16 weeks mark out. This whole prep actually was way easier than I thought it was going to be. 2 years ago I did a show, I had way more meltdowns. I was crying in the bathtub, not really wanting to do it anymore, but this time I wasn't really dealing with hunger for some reason. I only had two mistakes on my diet, and instead of actually binging with fast foods, I only binged, well, not really binged. I had like 500 calories of like fruits and veggies. So the difference in items that I chose to binge with is completely different than past prep. Obviously, they say that you will get used to it, and the more preps you do, the easier you get through. Which makes sense now that I actually experienced it. I said binges, but it wasn't really binges a good thing. I was actually not allowed to have any cheat meals, so the only thing we did was refeed days, which only got deployed, if I'm correctly, from the 6 week out mark. My PED stack, I don't really want to talk too much about it because I don't really want anyone to take over a PED stack that was assigned to my body. Because obviously, if I'm going to be saying my PED stack, then obviously other people are thinking that they do need to do the same thing. I don't really think that's going to be a smart thing. So this is not medical advice. Please do not use any of these substances under your own use. Hire a coach like I had. I had Johnny, who actually is really experienced and has been doing this for 16 years and has all the experience and knowledge inside of his brain to, pass me a PED stack that's viable. But in the beginning, first 8 weeks, we were only on testosterone, masteron, and some aromatase inhibitors. After that, we did deploy Tren from the 8 week on mark. We started to microdose it and then started to increase it to a little bit more. Obviously, we have been using T3, T4, and clenbuterol L-carnitine. Proviron also was added later on. That was kind of like my PED stack for my show. We got really dry, which was a good thing. When we went into prep, we knew I wasn't going to be the biggest one, so we just wanted to make sure that everyone looked fat besides me, which I think we did a pretty good job at. So this whole prep was really good. I have no complaints about it. It was actually really nice. Then obviously post show, show's done. Got my 2 medals, as you can see in my raw talk. On my reel, I kind of was disappointed in getting second twice. This has numerous of reasons. But to be honest, I got happy. The moment that I got home, people were like, "Oh, what are you going to eat?" And I literally was like, "I want oatmeal." I really don't think I deserve to have any type of like bad foods. I don't want to call them bad, but you know what I mean. But I actually did have oatmeal. I made an oatmeal scramble with banana. I put it on top of yogurt, put some berries in there. Had it Ninja Creamy, and after that, obviously, all of my friends were there. I saw them eating food. My mood started to become a little bit better, and then I started to actually enjoy a couple of items. I had a donut, a glazed donut, cut them in half, put fried chicken inside of it. But before putting fried chicken inside of it, you obviously have to put it in a pan or an air fryer a little bit so it caramelizes, crystallizes the sugar. Really nice food. So yeah, I got 2 days of basically food freedom after my show and the day after. The day after, obviously, I wasn't really hungry, so I kind of postponed it till later on and just had veggies and protein during the day. Obviously, paper note was a big part of my food freedom, which was nice. After my 2 days of freedom, the Wednesday. So on Sunday I had my show. On Wednesday I actually flew out to Las Vegas with Auke buddy of mine who came from the Netherlands. We were there for 5 days, and then we went to Seattle for another 4 days, I believe. So I had almost 1.5 weeks of like traveling. Obviously, I did not have a use of kitchen in Vegas. I did have it in Seattle, but I was just staying on macros, and it was actually quite easy because you can buy everything you need anywhere. I bought chicken, I had oatmeal, I had veggies, I had my fruits, a lot of protein bars, obviously, which is not obviously the best, but if your stomach can handle it, then it's not going to be like a real big issue. Obviously, Chipotle, Panda Express, you can make your food actually not that bad. You can actually track it in Chronometer, for example. So I was just living off macros, just putting it in my Chronometer, make sure that I hit my goals every single day. Post-show, I started with a new coach, which I will tell a little bit later on. But we actually instantly increased from pre-peak week 1950, 1850 to 3300 and 3000. So yeah, I got to eat like quite a lot of food. I had a lot of freedom, so I could actually plan around with it. Didn't have a lot of bad foods. I think only one day I had like 2 donuts, a pizza slice, and a bite of Dave Hodge chicken. And I just literally planned it in, and I had my food around it, so it wouldn't really like fuck me up too much, which it didn't. So that's good. So post-show traveling, everyone always says is really bad. I disagree with it. As long as you are locked the fuck in, it doesn't actually matter where you are. You can make it work. Only if you want it to work. If you are having the post-show blues, like you're not sure what to do, like you're like, then obviously it's going to be really hard. But I was still very, very locked in. So for me, it wasn't really an issue. Obviously been hitting the gym, just doing my cardio. I gave myself 2 days of like freedom, so I started gymming and cardio on the Wednesday again. Just picked everything up, tried to stay into prep, focus, like in my regiment, waking up at the same time, doing my walks, getting my steps in. Obviously I had way more steps than normal, but everything went actually quite well. About my placement, it was actually not that bad. My placement second in my first open show is not bad at all. So I think just every emotion of the past 20 weeks just came out in that one video and that one moment. After that, I actually was quite okay. My mental health right now is not at the best. I'm getting some binges. I'm starting to get a little bit fluffy. But I am trying to take control back over those feelings, because what I do notice is that those binges are really attached to a certain feeling that I have that are triggering just before I'm like going to bed. So I know the triggers. So I obviously talked with my new coach about it and trying to get those triggers out of it. But we're also trying to fix the part that is causing this. So right now, what is happening is that there are certain things happening in my life that I kind of need to get control over. Once I start to get control over those things, these binges will be going away. The binges obviously have not been with bad foods. They have been with rice cakes, yogurt, berries, chicken, like rice, like they actually cream of rice and stuff. Like they actually haven't been too bad. So I'm actually quite happy with the decisions, but it also kind of goes into this vicious cycle of like the next day, do I compensate for my behavior? Do I not? I'm starting to get a little bit more fluffy, which then obviously also is not really nice to see, which then obviously triggers a part of it. Like, why am I still doing this? Like, should I start eating less? Should I just like not tell my coach? But the thing is that I can't do those things. Like, I have to be honest with my coach, so my coach always knows everything that is happening, and we're actually like trying to get these like 3 binges out of it. 3 binges, obviously, I'm calling them binges because it's like 500 to 1,000 calories for me. I don't think I should be calling them binges, because most people, when they have binges, they obviously are consuming loads of junk food. Like, I'm talking about like 3 pizzas or 4 pizzas, like 16 donuts. Like, you know, like I don't really have that. The only actual binge I had was on pepernoten. So that one was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. I did think that I had a little bit too much of those, but damn, those things are good. If you don't know what pepernoten are, it's basically like a Dutch treat that comes around for this season, the 5th of December, Saint Nicholas, Black Pete, like the whole thing. There's this like small candy, and they're covered in chocolate, different flavors. Oh, yeah, don't even get me started. But yeah, trying to take back control over this is definitely priority number one. We'll see how that goes. I've been good for the past 4 days after my last mistake, which was again yogurt and rice cakes. So it's not too bad. Definitely my weight is starting to stabilize again, but I do think that I want to get a little bit less fluffy. Starting to lose my veins a little bit. Obviously, that makes sense. You're going from using a lot of things on prep to really being shredded to then trying to get back into a health position where right now I'm actually just on TRT. I'm on 150 milligrams of test per week. Do not start TRT unless you are advised by a doctor or a coach that has a lot of knowledge about it. And please do blood work appropriately before you start, during, after, all the time. It's expensive to do. Make sure that your health is in check first. Thank you. What is next? So my new coach is Dan Mansens. He's actually a really good coach in the Netherlands. I've talked to a couple of people in the Netherlands, and I kind of wanted to go back to my Dutch roots. So that's who I'm going to be working with in my rebound, refurge / off season. He has been doing a lot of great things with a lot of people, been talking to a lot of his clients. Everyone was always positive and never had really anything bad to say. He has tremendous track record of people also with how I'm looking. So I think that that's a really good decision that I made to go with. Really regret switching off Johnny. Time will only tell. I had an amazing time with Johnny. Johnny is an amazing coach, amazing guy. Like, he did not really become just a coach. He's really a good friend of mine right now. Like, I can hit him up whenever I want to. He responds to me. He's a really nice guy. He's still there for me. Like, we really build a relationship past coaching, which is really nice. It was a really tough decision for me to make, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So right now we're in the reverse / rebound phase. This is probably going to last until January. We'll be doing some blood work, and then we try to see if we can start a push phase. Then the push phase is going on for, I don't know how long he wants me to push, how my body holds up, how my blood work looks. And then, we have to see how long it will actually take. Obviously, we're trying to get to a pro physique, which will take a lot of time because I was 74.4 kgs on show day and my weight gap is 92 kgs. So that's a huge difference. So I just need some time. So off season is going to be long. I'll just pushing out content and all that kind of stuff, but definitely not any shows near. Even though I'm qualified, I don't want to, because I know that the difference between nationals and regional is quite big. So if I'm already not being able to take overall on a regional level, I will definitely not be able to take overall on or receive my pro card. So it's back to the stable, back to the grinding table. I don't even know how to call it, but yeah, it's time to just grind it out again, get big, and we have to just see what's gonna happen. It's gonna take some time, but what's fun of doing a show, winning everything, and then get your ass beat in the next show you're competing in, because regional and nationals is definitely a little step up the ladder. So I just want to take my time, come in prepared, and enjoy. So yeah, that's gonna be next. It's a little bit longer video than you guys normally are used for me, but I hope you enjoy this. Let me know in the comments if you have been through any of the mental stuff issues that I've been going through. And yeah, always open for nice conversations to have with other bodybuilders and all that kind of stuff. If you want to see more of this, let me know. Like the video, subscribe, whatever, or don't. I really don't care. I just really like to give this out and talk about these kind of things. So yeah, enjoy.